is your cross for the time being. This is because you can never ever truly lead unless you truly and genuinely love the people God has given unto you to lead. Message number 3. Society thrives when wisdom leads and passion is restrained. But society also needs passionate action to grow and thrive. Find the right balance. Number 4 is one sentence. It is in the nature of power and authority to shift and to expire. And finally, number 5, as a true leader, you will laugh and cry. You will smile and weep. And Jesus wept, Luke 11:35. Dr. Enusin caught me crying one day and pretended he didn't see. But God gave me the strength to survive the COVID years and the last 3 years. I had a platoon of prayer warriors, including my Pascaline, the world's best wife, and others here in this school, and they know this. God will do the same for you. What is next for me? A long time ago, I planned to retire at 40 years. I am now 10 years late. Because of President Mills, President Mahama, and VC Ampof. So I intend to thoroughly enjoy my retirement, beginning with my sabbatical leave. I finished my last class, legal system, on the legal profession and legal aid at 8:30 p.m. on the 15th of August. My flight is 7 a.m. the next morning. Hey. But I leave not as a former leader, but as a lifelong advocate and supporter of this great institution. I intend to give my brother, the new dean, all the space he needs. But I also intend to give him all the support he needs, virtually. Thank God for virtuality. My Lord CJ, concluding remarks. I conclude my remarks where I started, by saying thank you to all of you. I thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Nana Aba Piamfo, her predecessor, the former and current provosts and registrars, the entire university management seated here in front, for their trust reposed in me to lead our beloved school. Your guidance has been invaluable. To the school management committee and my cherished colleague faculty, I deeply appreciate your wisdom, candid counsel, and immeasurable support, which led to all the achievements of the school. To our indefatigable administrative and support staff, thank you for being the engine room of this school. You embraced and adapted to the many changes that came our way, ensuring that our plans became action and that our action became impact. To my dear students, you were my daily inspiration. Your passion for learning and your desire to shape the future of law in Ghana and Africa influenced my desire to keep this school vibrant and forward-looking. To our alumni and partners and friends, I'm grateful for your loyalty, your support, especially to the new building, and your willingness to invest in the growth and development of our school. And finally, to every single one of you sitting here today, thank you. Your patience change. People do. Today is also a celebration of the future, and I am delighted to be handing over to my brother Atupa and a community that believes. I implore you to give the new dean even more cooperation and support than you gave me. Leadership changes, but the mission of our school remains. Let us rally around the new dean with a unity of purpose so that together the school can reach even greater heights. Let us continue to nurture our traditions of excellence, to push the boundaries of legal scholarship, and to be a school that serves society with integrity, innovation, and courage. Thank you all for making my journey as dean so rewarding. May the University of Ghana School of Law continue to grow in strength, influence, and service. God bless the University of Ghana School of Law, and God bless us all.
I think we can do a bit better. Put your hands together. There is a saying that we stand on the shoulders of heroes and others who have gone ahead of us. Professor Tuguba listed other senior sisters and brothers who came ahead of him. Shall we put our hands together and acknowledge the previous deans? I found it humbling that you didn't come here gloating to say you did it all. And I think that is humbling. Journal articles do not a school, a university make. But journal articles are good. It's just that they are not everything that should make a university. I'm hesitating to make a reference to the cathedral, but you mentioned it. Thank God for the Cathedral of the School of Law of the University of Ghana. On that note, with your 5 messages to my brother, Atu Diwe, Atu Pare, the floor is yours. Speak to us.
His Lordship, the Acting Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Justice Paul Bafoboni, the Vice Chancellor of University of Ghana, Professor Nana Aba Apia Amfo, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, my teacher, Justices of the Supreme Court of Ghana, Pro Vice Chancellor, Provost, my immediate boss, Registrar, Mrs. Emilia Ajay Mensah, President of the Ghana Bar Association, members of the General Legal Council of Ghana, members of the School Management Committee, outgoing Dean of the University of Ghana School of Law, Professor Raymond Atogba, Deans, Directors, and Heads of Units of the University of Ghana, learned members of the Bar and Bench, faculty and staff of the School of Law, alumni, students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is an honor for me to stand before you today and to receive the baton of leadership of our beloved School of Law. I am grateful for this rare privilege, not only to have an opportunity to serve as a dean in our premier faculty of law, but also to manage, control, and direct the limited administrative machinery through which the fruits of legal education are determined and distributed in our republic and across the globe. Being a cradle of legal scholarship and leadership in Africa, I am extremely aware of the magnitude of this responsibility and the legacy of excellence that I am inheriting from Dean Raymond. Each of us here can proudly testify to these unassailable records of excellence. I was born in the village with modest dreams. My world as a child was circumscribed by three persons: my father, who was the chief, the messenger who delivers letters to him, and the paymaster who brings his salary to the palace every month. These three individuals meant a lot to me, as my official job at the time was to take care of horses, cows, sheep, and goats on the grazing field. I could not think of or contemplate a worldview better than the worldview presented to me by these three persons, since my dearly friends, in this case the animals, could not establish any refreshing moment for the future. Yet, I persevered. I completed junior high with one teacher who taught all the examinable courses. From the local authority primary to his junior high, I made it to a public senior secondary school. The first time I came to Accra was when I made an attempt to find out from University of Ghana when I should expect my admission letter. It was also the first time I attempted deceiving a public officer. Madam Prof. Vice Chancellor, at that time, I waited for 2 weeks. I was not hearing from the university. So I went to the admissions office to find out whether I was admitted. The young man there said, "Go and wait if you didn't receive your admission letter." So I stepped out and made a phone call from a public phone booth, and closed one of my nose and said that this is from the Regional Education Director, Upper East. I wanted to find out whether my child is admitted. He quickly said, "Let me check," and reverted back into no time. He said, "Oh, he's admitted." I said, "Oh, I'll let him come for his admission letter." But with this confession, I will ask for a pardon because, because it was a medicinal lie. If you don't accept it as a medicinal lie, my only safe haven is in Lord Halsbury's observation there in Peak, that fraud without damage and damage without fraud does not give rise to deceit. In all of this, I knew that I would not be a useless person, but I never knew that my usefulness would take me to the office of the Dean of the University of Ghana School of Law. In any case, I take this position with modest pride and hope. It is a burden I brought upon myself, but it is a burden that I knew I am in a community of happy servants of our republic, and ideas that I will pull through with the support of that community. On that note, I wish to express my heartfelt appreciation to my brother, teacher, and dean, Professor Raymond Atuba. Your tenure has been marked by visionary leadership, steadfast dedication, and tangible achievements that have brought pride to this school and to the university as a whole. You have led transformative initiatives, and these are not just projects but pillars upon which we can build the next chapter of our growth. Dean Raymond, without doubt, is a kernel of visionary leadership. You have, in 6 years, in my candid view, provided what we could not, in terms of infrastructure, provide between 1959 and 2019, a period of 60 years. Under your leadership, we have seen unprecedented growth, development, and institutional visibility in the global stage of legal education. With a great deal of resilience, you manage the ghost of organizational hurdles to produce results. In fact, you deployed creativity, direction, delegation, coordination, monitoring, and alliance to engender the spirit of unity and positive energy, an achievement that substantially helped us to manage individual clawbacks, sovereign egos, and weak alumni culture. My duty is to hold on to this legacy with all my might and will. More so, my duty is to complete all that is in transition provided by your vision. My duty above all is to extend the frontiers of your achievements to stages expected and contemplated by quality legal education and within the larger context of the university's strategic goals. But permit me to state that today's handing over is more than a ceremonial transfer of leadership. It is a reaffirmation of our shared commitment to the ideals of legal education, intellectual inquiry, and service to society. The University of Ghana School of Law has produced jurists, legislators, judges, advocates, and scholars whose influence are felt across Ghana, Africa, and the world. We have a duty to preserve this proud heritage while we also reimagined the future of legal education to meet the demands of a rapidly changing world. In this role, I am not oblivious of the fact that there is law everywhere in our lives. There is law in our kitchens, there is law in our bedrooms, there is law in the food we eat, there is law in the water we drink and bath. In fact, there is law in the clothes we wear. It is extremely difficult, though not impossible, to contemplate a department of human life in which law could be properly held to be absent. Therefore, presiding over the training of a group of persons whose duty it is to determine what law is in a state, and in our case, a republic and a constitutional democracy, is a crucial one. This training is not an empty one. This training, since the trilogy of law, philosophy, and politics are held in the 7th century to have a joint unique relevance for the survival of a nation state, has not been jettisoned. Even in the Roman Republic, Caesarus recorded this unparalleled significance of law in the following passage. There must be law in the Republic of Rome, not only to aid. Clearly from this passage, law must have some modicum of fidelity, and on that account, the training, which is the subject matter of this. This makes legal education, which in sum is about law, fundamental for the survival of a nation. Therefore, it is made available to consumers. For instance, confused teaching methods will prevent students of the law from understanding their areas of study. Likewise, vagueness, lack of clarity, or poor appreciation of legal principles by lawyers may lead to bad results from the law courts, as judges are not to engage in clairvoyance. In effect, the law of a state must be understood, appreciated, and properly engaged by the citizens of that state. This would not only allow a meaningful interaction between the objects and subjects of the law, as Caesarus will have his belief, but also will facilitate his development. In Ghana, we cannot do this without the efforts and noble exercise of energy as at the core of quality teaching, research, publications. We also pushed for the establishment of our specialized research centers and strengthened our policy engagements, ensure and partners to advance our collective vision. I would uphold the principles of integrity, transparency, and accountability in all we do. And I will strive to ensure that this school remains not just as an academic institution, but a vibrant community where scholarship thrives, ideas are